this video, I am going to share 10 hidden leagues for betting on over 1.5 goals, where the pricing currently offers significant hidden value. These are the leagues the professionals are targeting at the moment, and by the time we finish, you will have a clear, professional shortlist of battlefields where the probability is high and the market awareness is low. The first insight focuses on the Singapore S League, which is currently the single most undervalued goal environment in world football. According to the latest data, this league has an incredible over 1.5 hit rate of 90.28%. What this represents is a league where 2 or more goals are almost a mathematical certainty, yet because it is a low-volume market, bookmakers often use very generic mechanical pricing models. Why this matters is that you're often being offered prices that simply do not reflect a close to 9 out of 10 hit rate. What most bettors do wrong in Singapore is assuming the kickoff price is too short to be worth their time. How to approach it correctly is by waiting for the in-play drift. If a match in Singapore remains 0-0 after 15 minutes, the price for over 1.5 goals will rise significantly as the bookmaker's algorithm reacts to the passing time. Because the underlying tactical structure of the league is so focused on attacking transition, your structural expectation for goals remains dominant even after a slow start. By taking a price around the 20-minute mark, you are securing a professional return for an event that is statistically extremely likely to occur. The second insight on our list is the Denmark Superliga, which is currently underestimated by the broader market, despite a hit rate of 83.34%. This league is built on a tactical philosophy of high-tempo pressing and incredibly fast attacking transitions. Why this matters is that Danish football often creates a high volume of chances because teams are more willing to take defensive risks to win the ball high up the pitch. What most bettors do wrong is assuming that Scandinavian football is defensive or slow, especially in the winter months. This legacy bias leads to prices that are often several ticks higher than they should be. How to approach it correctly is by identifying matches between teams that rank highly for shots conceded. Let's say you are watching a match where the home side is a heavy favorite. If the score is 0-0 at 20 minutes, the market often overreacts. Yet the data shows the goals in Denmark often come in clusters once the initial defensive shape is broken. You are using the league's high-tempo DNA to find value in the price drift that casual punters ignore. By the way, if you like videos like this and want to see more on this subject, remember to click the like button. It tells YouTube to send you more of this kind of content. And while you are there, you should hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss a system or strategy video. Now the third one is something most bettors completely overlook, and that is France League 1. For a long time, the French top flight had a reputation for being cagey and defensive, and the markets still carry a bit of that descriptive legacy bias. However, the modern reality is a hit rate of 82.35%. Why this matters is that you're often getting better prices for 2 goals in France than you would for similar matches in England or Germany because the public perception has not caught up to the tactical shift. Out of curiosity actually, do you ever bet on any of these leagues yourself? Would be good to know how many pro-minded punters watch our videos. Leave a comment below. Anyway, what most bettors do wrong is avoiding League 1 for overs because they still think of it as a low-scoring league. How to approach it correctly is to target mid-table clashes where both teams have an incentive to attack. For example, when 2 teams in the middle of the table play, both managers are now much more likely to commit men forward. By backing over 1.5 goals in these scenarios, you are exploiting a pricing error caused by an old reputation that no longer matches the high-scoring reality of the pitch. By the way guys, if you want to skip all that manual research and find the best opportunities for over 1.5 goals instantly, the Statto app is your best friend for this. Instead of spending your morning manually analyzing match data and recent form across dozens of leagues, you simply press the relevant prompt and let the artificial intelligence do the heavy lifting for you. It automates the entire research process and generates insights instantly, allowing you to find the genuine value spots where the probability and price diverge. You can use Statto before the matches start to build a short list of games that might become good in-play opportunities later once you see that tempo building on the pitch. It is all about time saving and simplicity, ensuring you stay focused on your shortlist without the headache of manual data entry. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen to download it. Moving on, and the fourth hidden gem on our list is the Switzerland Super League, which hits at 82.02%. Swiss football is essentially a developmental league designed to showcase young, attacking talent for bigger European clubs. Why this matters is that this focus on individual expression often comes at the expense of defensive organization, leading to very open games. I learned this the hard way during my transition to a more data-driven process. I used to ignore betting on leagues because I didn't think they were cool or want to watch the matches. But once I began to expand my horizons was when I started to become profitable. And what most bettors do wrong is treating the Swiss league with the same caution they would apply to the more defensive Italian or Greek divisions. How to approach it correctly is by identifying teams that consistently record high expected goals figures. Because the market often overlooks the Swiss league in favor of the Big Five, you can frequently find kickoff prices that are several ticks higher than the 82% hit rate suggests they should be. You are essentially acting as a specialist in a league that the general public ignores, allowing you to secure value before the prices shorten. The fifth insight is the Australia A League, which currently hits the 1.5 line at 81.07%. The unique factor here is the lack of relegation. Why this matters is that without the threat of being demoted, managers are far less likely to resort to the extreme defensive park the bus tactics you see in Europe. What most bettors do wrong is applying relegation battle logic to Australian fixtures, expecting teams to shut down the game to preserve a point. How to approach it correctly is to understand that in the A-League, the script often becomes very chaotic in the final 20 minutes as both sides continue to push for a win regardless of the current score. This no-consequence attacking nature creates a hidden professional advantage, particularly in the over 1.5 market where the price often fails to account for the sustained late-game intensity. Now, the sixth league you should be monitoring is the Germany 2 Bundesliga with an impressive hit rate of 79.74%. While the main Bundesliga gets all the attention, the second tier is often more volatile and produces even more defensive lapses. Why this matters is that this is a secondary market for most bookmakers, so their pricing is often less sharpened than in the top flight. What most bettors do wrong is assuming that a drop in league quality means a drop in goal volume. In reality, the technical mistakes at this level often lead directly to more goals. How you should approach this is by looking for matches where the shots conceded averages are high. You can often find hidden value here because the public doesn't respect the scoring power of this division as much as the data suggests they should. The seventh underestimated market is the Saudi Arabian League, hitting at 79.08%. The recent influx of world-class attacking talent has transformed the league's scoring profile. Why this matters is that the defensive recruitment hasn't yet matched the level of the strikers, creating a significant imbalance. What most bettors do wrong is underestimating the scoring power of these top-heavy teams when they play against smaller regional sides. How to approach it correctly is to target the matches involving the elite clubs when they are playing at home. You will often find that the market is still catching up to the fact that these games are now built for lopsided scorelines, offering prices for over 1.5 goals that represent significant value compared to the actual scoring potential on the pitch. The eighth league to add to your shortlist is the Scotland Premiership, which hits at 79.83%. While many punters only watch the two big clubs in Glasgow, the rest of the league is played with a high physical intensity that leads to frequent goals. Why this matters is that the Scottish game involves a high number of set pieces and scrambles, which are perfect for clearing the 2-goal mark. What most bettors do wrong is assuming that matches outside of the big two will be low-scoring grinds. How to approach it correctly is to look for mid-table battles where the price is often underestimated. You are looking for games with a high volume of long balls and crosses, which historically leads to the over 1.5 line landing far more often than the casual punter expects. The ninth hidden gem is the Qatar Stars League, which boasts an over 1.5 hit rate of 80.30%. This is another prime example of an invisible market that is ignored by the general public. Why this matters is that the tactical structures in Qatar are often very loose, and the heat can lead to significant late-game fatigue where defensive lines become disjointed. What most bettors do wrong is avoiding the league because they are unfamiliar with the team names. How to approach it correctly is to treat it as a pure data play. An 80% hit rate is an elite environment for 2 goals. By waiting for the price to drift in play, you are backing an outcome that the statistics say will happen in 8 out of 10 matches, yet the price is often inflated because of the lack of public wagering volume. And finally, the last tip and the most impactful insight for anyone wanting to move away from casual betting is to target the Scotland League 1. While it has a hit rate of 77.22%, It represents the largest gap between public perception and mathematical reality. Why this matters is that in the lower tiers of Scottish football, the bookmakers' analytical precision is often at its lowest. Casual bettors think these games are gritty and low scoring, but the data shows they clear 2 goals with incredible consistency. What most bettors do wrong is assuming lower quality equals fewer goals. In reality, it means more defensive errors and more chaotic games. By specializing in these hidden lower league markets, you are choosing a battlefield where the bookmaker is at their most vulnerable. You are finding value where others are too afraid or too bored to look. And like I said earlier guys, you don't need to go around and research all these leagues yourself. Statto app dramatically speeds up the process by providing structured betting insights instantly. It handles the heavy lifting of data analysis, using artificial intelligence to scan thousands of matches and identify exactly where the projected probability exceeds the bookmaker's price. You can use Statto before the matches start to build a short list of games from these high-frequency leagues that are actually worth your time, rather than falling for high-margin traps in the big leagues. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen right now to see how the artificial intelligence can accelerate your research and sharpen your professional edge. It really is a serious upgrade for any football bettor who wants to move away from the guesswork and start using a disciplined, data-led process. I really hope this deep dive into the 10 hidden leagues for over 1.5 goals has shown you that consistency comes from choosing the right battlefield where the market has overlooked the value. When you stop chasing the headlines and start following the structural data of these underestimated environments, your results will naturally follow. Thank you so much for watching and for your time today. Remember to click that like button. It tells YouTube to show you more of this kind of content. As always, the learning shouldn't stop here. There is actually another video on the screen right now that I think you'll find very useful if you want to keep building your knowledge and sharpening your edge. Go ahead and click that, and I'll see you over there.